Hi everybody, welcome back to Bearded Reef. My name's Ross. In today's video I'm going to show you how to change all of the filters on your RODI unit and change the DI resin. I'll then also show you how to properly flush the membranes. Okay, hi everybody, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, if you could consider subscribing, it would mean a massive amount to me. If you haven't already subscribed, thank you very much, I do appreciate it. So yeah, this video I'm going to take a look at how to replace the filters on the RODI unit, how to replace the DI resin, and also how to flush the unit correctly. So I know in my previous RODI unit I got some questions about flushing the system. I'll try and go into a bit more depth in this one, show you exactly how to do it. So if you're struggling with flushing the system or not quite sure how to do it, I'll show you exactly how to do it in this one. I'll do it step by step so you can see. Yes, I didn't realise it, but that's me had the RODI unit now for about 6 months. In fact, it's over 6 months. I actually got a message from Aquati, who I got the unit from, saying that that's me had the unit for 6 months now, and I'm due to replace the filters in the RODI resin. So they sent me out the filters in the RODI resin, so massive thank you to Aquati for that. If you haven't already, if you check out Aquati's website, check that on there. You can use the code BeardedReef10 for 10% off on there. 10% off your filters, your new units, anything you want on that website, and that's also free delivery as well. So highly recommend checking out the Aquati website. That's what I use for making my RODI water, it's fantastic. So yeah, we'll go into this. So I got this box in the post the other day. So inside here, I can open this up the right way and show you guys. So inside here, I've got the 3 filters. So you've got the activated carbon. The activated carbon block filter is the first one, activated carbon in the second one, and this one here is just the spun filter cartridge. So this is your kind of first stage one. So we'll get these out and let you guys see what's in here. Oh, and I probably also should add that there is DI resin in this as well. So we can get this out. Apologies if that was a bit of a noise, but there you can see there's a litre of DI resin in there, vacuum sealed, just to keep it all fresh and healthy. So that's the DI resin. This is your first stage one here, polyprop cartridge. Then you've got your carbon block and your activated carbon. So that is your first, second, third stage. 4th stage is your membrane, and the 5th stage is the RODI unit, the deionization resin. Sorry that I've got you there. Blah, that was a bit of a mess. The last stage is the DI resin that I've got there. A bit better that time. Yeah, so again, these are all Aquati branded. If you can see them there. Just make sure that if you have an Aquati RODI unit, you use the Aquati filters for them, and vice versa. Again, Aquati sent out the resin for that. So yeah, there's not really much more to talk about with this. I make my water outside, I don't do it in the house. I've got the garden hose connector for mine, so I'll take you guys outside and I'll show you everything from stripping down the system, installing new filters and adding the RODI resin, and then we'll flush the system through. So yeah, let's jump out there now and we'll go and take a look at that. Okay, so this is the Aquati unit that I've got. It's the 5-stage version that I've got here. Now this one is the 150 gallons per day unit. You can actually get this system in 50 gallons per day, 75, 100 and 150 gallons per day. Now I always recommend to go with the highest one that you can. So the 150 gallons per day one is the one that I've got. I'll show you in a bit kind of how I make the water and so on and what results I get. But this unit here, really cheap unit, is £88 at the time of this video. That comes with the garden tap connector and the 150 gallon membrane. Also free delivery, 2-year warranty, and you'll get 10% off as well that price if you use the code BeardedReef10. So yeah, just wanted to quickly jump in there and show you that. Okay, so if I run through the system here, you can see this is the garden hose connector that I've got. Run along here and I've got the pressure gauge. Now as you can see there, maybe not, 75 psi is my water pressure at the house. So really good water pressure that I run here. Out the T further down I've got the inlet for the TDS meter. I've put a valve on the inlet as well there, so that's really my inlet side of the system. Just wanted to show you guys that. Then it comes up, I've got the TDS meter at the top here, dual TDS meter. So I've got the inlet here, you can see 25 ppm is what the water that I'm getting in is, and getting out 0. So you know, the TDS in my water here is perfect coming out. Now like I say, this is 6 months old, so I'm going to change it, but yeah, jumping back to this. So like I say, make sure the water's off, so switch the water off here. I'm going to switch off the inlet valve to this, and switch off both the outlet valves there. So that's the system completely dead now. There's nothing in there. There is still water in, but nothing drastic. So yeah, to separate these, if you just kind of push up a bit, pull in the white collar and pull that one out, it's easy enough to do. You'll be able to separate that no problem. Same with the outlet there. So if you take off all the tubing from the inlets and outlets, it just makes things a bit easier here to kind of handle it all. I say I kind of just wanted to show you guys how I make mine, where I make it. You know, I make it outside, so if you are doing this in the house, make sure that you don't spill water everywhere. Pretty sure your missus won't be happy with that. Okay, so as I've got all this disconnected now, you can see that is just a standalone unit, nothing connected to it. So we're going to go ahead and remove the first stage here. Kind of just get it to a position you're comfortable to work in. This is the kind of most awkward part, try to film this and do it at the same time. But yes, this is the kind of position I'm in here. So what I'm going to do is take off the top membrane, so we need to split this part here. So again, just push in that little white collar and pull the whole thing off. Very, very simple. That takes off the top membrane and the DI chamber, so we can take that off, set it to the side just now, because that's not the first part of this. First part here, get your spanner and put it on the bottom. And what you don't want to do is put it up these two lines here. As you see, it'll just spin off. So what you want to do is bring it down, and you actually want to have the kind of bigger nuts not in that position there. Doesn't matter how much you shove it up, it's not going to work. You want to put it there. So if you pull that round, a bit of force, you'll get it. It is quite tight, and that's it off. So you can back that off again. Now just be careful if you're doing it in this position. The water will pour out. I'm outside on a rare sunny day in Scotland. It's about 28 degrees just now, so I don't actually mind about spilling water, but if you're in the house you need to be careful with this. So yeah, as you can see, just basically back this out and take it off. So this is the first stage here. I'm just going to set that to the side there just now. Not too dirty looking inside there, it's pretty clean. I'm going to take off the second stage now. So again, that's the second stage cracked. I'll just crack the third stage so we can get that taken off as well. Make sure it's in the right place. And there we go. So that is that, ready to be taken off. So it's pretty easy, you just back these off here, as you can see. Make sure not to damage the O-ring or check the O-ring at any point, but it is straightforward enough just to take these off. So that's your main three filters. Once you get them taken off, you can then replace the insides of them. But this is really it for the tear down, to be honest with you. Nothing too complicated. I think everybody should manage that fairly easy, to be honest. Can be quite daunting to people if you've not got a kind of more practical mind, but yeah, they're really easy. Okay, so as you can see, just checking this is clean. It is actually fairly clean, to be honest. It's only 6 months old, so not too bad, but we'll get the first stage done anyway. So this is the first stage that takes out most of your heavy components. I don't know how well you'll see, but inside this container there's quite a bit floating about, so there you go, there's the new one versus the old one. You can see the difference. So that's only 6 months, and that is light use, to be fair, that I've done, not heavy use. Quite light use, and I've got very good water conditions as well, so maybe see the stuff floating about in there, but you need to give this a good clean out, a good rinse out. I don't do this in RO water because there's no point, it's going to be making fresh water anyway, so give that a rinse out, bring it back in, and we're good to go with the new first stage filter in there. So as you can see here, first stage polypropylene filter cartridge, Aquati branded one. Take that out of the wrapper, and it is as simple as just plunking it straight in this container here. Show you the difference again with it out of the wrapper, but yeah, slot that in there. There's a little locating kind of nub on the bottom that it sits in, and that's your first stage. Second stage, very similar, just take out the cartridge here. As you can see, that is that cartridge out now. You won't really notice a massive difference visually on these because these are more carbon based filters, but inside here you can see quite a bit of sludge at the bottom again. So you just want to make sure you can get that rinsed out, but I'll do that just now anyway. Okay, so that's it, magically rinsed out. We'll get the new activated carbon filter cartridge here. So that's the Aquati one ready to go back in again. Remove all the packaging from that. I know it sounds obvious, but just wanted to make sure. And then it goes in the way that you'll see there, so that bit at the bottom, and that just slides in, and job done. So then we'll do the third stage one next. So yeah, again, lift out the cartridge. This is the other carbon block one, so I'll get the new one and get that out the packaging so you guys can see that. So there's the old versus new. Activate carbon block fill. This is the third stage, kind of final polish here before it goes into the RO membrane. Yeah, we'll get this out the packaging, and then like I say, just make sure that it's the same size and everything, which it is, so that's fine. And we'll get that fitted inside here. Now I'll need to clean this one as well because it's a bit minging. As you can see here, it's there's some carbon at the bottom, so give us a quick clean out and it is done. Obviously by the power of me cutting this, it's a lot quicker than the process was, but we'll get the new one fitted in there anyway, and that's the three of them ready to go back in. So yeah, just make sure there's nothing on the inside of these threads here. You don't want anything damaging the threads on that. Just check all your O-rings as well are fine, and then you can screw these back on. Kind of awkward for me to try and show you this at the same time as doing it, but kind of show you when you're trying to do this yourself. It's much easier without having a camera in the way and hot sunshine baking down on your back. But yeah, this is the kind of reassembly part. So everything just screws back in really easily. Quite big threads on this, so it's easy enough to do. There's no fuss about that at all. And just do them up hand tight. If you feel any resistance, give it a little shake like you see me doing there, just to make sure that everything's centralised. You'll see on this one here. So and get that in. Now this one has to locate in the top part as well, which sometimes can be quite awkward depending on how it's lying in the cylinder. So what you can do if you're struggling with it is you can take it out, slot it in that top bit there, and then just simply turn on the base at the bottom. That's one way that I found it's slightly easier to do it anyway. So yeah, that seems to be the easiest way for me anyway. Just check everything's lined up, which it is, and then just hand tight them. Okay, so once you've got them hand tight, just bring back in the spanner again. Now this comes with the Aquati kit, you don't need to buy this separately, everything should be there already. Again, make sure it's in the right position and give it a good tighten up. Now you don't want to burst these, so don't go too crazy on them. But okay, next stage is we're going to have a look at the DI resin. So again, you need to split this connector here between the membrane and the DI resin. Sometimes easier just taking it out. So yep, there we go. I'm not changing the membrane on this 6-month one. I'm just going to keep the membrane as it is. So I've sat that out of the way just now, so it's not in the road of this. Yeah, I'll show you how to change this now anyway. Okay, so first thing, you will need gloves and eye protection for this. It's going to be harmful. So the eye protection I've got is these Pit Vipers. Not quite the best safety glasses, but it's sunny outside, so that's what I'm wearing anyway. But yeah, make sure you wear glasses and gloves when you're changing the DI resin, because it can be harmful to skin and eyes. Also don't swallow it, but I shouldn't need to tell you that. Okay, so gloves are on, and then I'm going to crack this here. Now just in case you're wondering, this spanner here isn't for that, it's actually for the membrane, so don't get confused thinking you can't get that off. This should just be hand tight. As you can see here, I managed to back it off my hand. This will be the bit that probably most of you, or if you are having any difficulty, will be concerned with this one here. So inside the lid here, as you can see, there's a little black O-ring. So you can remove that, make sure it's not damaged or lost. And then there's a little sponge here, it just kind of holds the DI resin in place, stops it going all over the place. As you can see, I had a bit of difficulty trying to get it out, so I just scooped that out of there. And yeah, that's the top part really. So what you want to do is just get some kind of container, your bin, whatever you're putting it into, and pour it in here. Now as you'll see, this comes out quite slow, and then you'll see the penny drops that I need to open the valve at the top, and that's it opened, and it comes out quick, just because it's not sucking a vacuum there. So yeah, once you get all of the resin out, now be mindful there is a little sponge at the bottom there, as you can see, so you need to keep hold of that sponge as well. It just stops it getting shoved through at the end. But yeah, that's the RO resin out. We need to go and give everything a clean out now, because it is quite dirty. So yeah, that's it cleaned. I'll go and clean the two sponges, and that's the sponges clean. So this is a tricky bit to get this sponge back in the bottom. I'm going to show you a little tip that I tried here to do that. So as you'll see, you can't get your fingers that far down. It needs to sit flat at the bottom, quite difficult to get down. So if you just get your tubing from the RO, shove it down with the tubing, then it makes it slightly easier anyway. There might be other ways that are easier, but this is the way that I've found to do it. So if you just gently coax it in, kind of side to side, you should be able to get it pretty much all the way at the bottom. As you can see here, I've managed to do that. You just turn it around and get it in. Once you get it to the bottom, just go around the whole thing on the outside just to make sure it's seated properly. you don't want any of the RO resin passing by that. It would end up through your water and be a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, that's the bottom sponge in. Next stage we're going to have is to actually fill it. This is probably one of the most difficult parts for me anyway. So as you'll see, it's vacuum packed here. The second that you cut it open, it will all kind of get air in it again and go deformed and all floppy as such. So as you'll see there, that's like a normal bag of resin now. So vacuum's gone and we can start pouring this in now. This 1 litre bag is way more than enough for doing this. You can fill this probably twice with this here. So yeah, I haven't really found an easy way to do this, to be honest with you. I just pour in a bit at a time, kind of try and shape the top with my hand to guide it in and pour it in. Now you probably are going to spill some here. People might say use a funnel and so on, but the funnel just clogs up when I've tried to do it previously. So yeah, this seems to certainly be the best way for me to do it. It does look a bit messy and a bit awkward, but for all the time it takes, you will get there in the end. Now when you're filling this, I'll show you in a second, but you want to make sure that you actually put more resin than what you need in this. I'll show you how I do it anyway, but yeah, it's just a key is to just try and keep pouring in as much as you can, get it all in. You'll see how hot it is, the fact that this is steaming up already. I know it's unusual to have a hot day in Scotland, but it is. So yeah, once you've actually managed to get this full to the top, which that is now, I use an old coral pot that I got sent coral in. You just want to pack it all down solid. You don't want any of the water to create any channels in here and bypass the resin. You want it to filter right through it. So I use this little coral pot and pack it down solid. You will have to put a slight drop more in after this once you've done it, just to take up the gap at the end, but that's fine, we can do that. So you want this to be ram packed full. So yeah, just make sure that it's all shoved down and packed in place. You can use anything, but I just use this little coral tub and it seems to work quite well. So yeah, once you've done that, you'll need to top it up again. So as you can see, I've topped up there and then just pressed down the top. You want to press this down just a few centimetres so that you can actually get the foam back in here again. So I've got this packed in really tight now. By the time I put the foam back in, it should be perfect. So the foam just sits back in the top like so. As you can see, that's going to be perfect there. And then we make sure that the rubber O-ring's there, so we'll put that back on. Again, make sure the threads haven't got any DI resin in them. You want to clean all them out, which I have done. So that's the O-ring back on again, and then simply screw the cap on. If you feel any resistance or anything like that, make sure the threads are clean like I said. But that cap should go right back down and tighten up snug again. And that literally is how you change the DI resin. Very easy, very simple to do. Shouldn't take you too long. As you can see, it's not taking me that long to do this one. Okay, so time to build things back up again. We'll connect the DI resin chamber back to the membrane. So you need to make sure it's facing the right way first, which I wasn't doing there. And then simply just push that back into the fitting. Push back in there and grip fine. Make sure it's holding in place, and that's that part pretty much ready to go. So all we need to do is connect that to the main unit, and that is us. Okay, so we've got the main unit back over here. First thing I'm going to do though is flush everything through. Now, don't do this the way that I'm about to do it, because you'll see why in a second. But if that flushes through the first chamber, in through the middle of the second chamber, back up again, into the middle of the third chamber, back up again, and comes out like a rocket, which I wasn't expecting here, as you'll see in a second. I'm about to get soaked, which wasn't too bad on a hot day like this, but here it comes. So yeah, that went a good bit higher than I expected it to be honest with you. Pretty much touched the roof of the house, I think. Yep, as you can see there, it went right up. So just attach this red bit of tubing here, saves anybody getting wet. Okay, so I'll open this back up again with the tubing back on, and you want to run that for about 10-15 minutes through there just to flush out the bottom chambers. Okay, so that's it been flushed 50 minutes. I've switched that off again, and we'll fit this top RODI membrane and the resin back in again. And just make sure you shove that back in correctly in that side. I got the wrong size fit in there, so I've just got the right bit, shoved it in there, and we'll press that back in again. Really easy, it's all just push fit connections. So that's that back in. Next stage will be flushing through the membrane in the RO chamber. So we'll open this up here. Again, we've already pre-flushed the bottom parts for the 10-15 minutes there. So you can see it coming out the wastewater hose, and you can see it starting to fill up the DI chamber. It won't fill all the way until you open the valve. So once you've opened the valve on that, it should fill all the way up. I'm going to connect all my tubing back onto here again, and we'll flush things through properly. So yeah, just make sure everyone's lined up right, you're happy with everything, you're not getting any leaks, everything's looking good. And as you can see, open that up, water's come right through. That's your DI chamber completely full of water, and technically you are producing, but what I like to do is just leave that running for 10-15 minutes again, just to flush everything through. That means your entire system's been flushed through and should be reading 0. Okay, so we'll connect back in the TDS sensor. So this is on the outlet, and that should be able to tell us what our outlet's reading. It might not always read 0 straight away until it's flushed through, but shouldn't be too far away anyway. So we'll check what mine reads and see how we're getting on. Okay, so inlet wise, I'm still at 24 and outlet's 0. So yeah, looking good. Now if you live in a big town or a city, your inlet won't be 24, you'll be way up from that. I mean, a lot of guys in England and so on are up 300-400, so you know, I'm quite lucky that my water's really good quality here and high pressure, so that makes things a lot better, as you can see. Okay, so here's my flow rate that's coming out of this. Now, like I said at the start, I've got 75 psi of water and 24 TDS going in. Very, very good pressure, good quality of water. So I can make approximately 25 litres in about 1 hour and 40 minutes, give or take, with that flow rate, which I'm really, really happy with. But yeah, that's the setup, that's everything connected back up again, and yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. As you can see, 24 in, 0 out. And that's it, folks. That's the unit. That's how to change it. It's simple. Yeah. Okay, folks. So there you have it. That's how you change all the filters, the DI resin, and flush the system through on the Aquati unit. I'm going to say that most other RODI units will be very similar to that, if not the same. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I know it's dragged on a bit longer than most of my videos, so apologies for that. If you've stuck around to this point, congratulations. No idea how you do it, but thanks for watching anyway. As a wee treat, you might see there's some new stuff in my tank. You'll see that in next week's video anyway. But yeah, massive thank you to everybody who has subscribed. If you've stuck around and watched the whole video to this point, I really, really do appreciate it, so thank you very much. Like I say, there's going to be a giveaway coming soon. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, there's a giveaway coming. We've got 3 fantastic prizes for that already, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. I'll put a post up on here and my Instagram just detailing that one. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. So I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Take care, folks. Bye bye.